My name's Kayla, this is Cinnamon, Peaches, and Sage. And did you know that the maze in Artazon is actually a map of Area 0? In this video, I'll be proving this theory by walking through Area 0, but replacing the blank mini-map with the map of the Artazon Maze. The location of the player character will be indicated by this red dot. Ready to have your mind blown? Let's get started. Regardless of where you fall into Area 0, you start at the exact same spot, and this is the entrance to the maze. Going to the right, you see this pile of rocks. This is a dead end on the map as well. It's unclear if these rocks were there at the time of Heath, or if these rocks fell more recently. Either way, we would speculate that this might have been a cave, so still a dead end. Now, moving to the left is where things start to get interesting. Keep in mind that people would not be able to ride on Miraidon or Koraidon during this time. So this map is a walking map. Since we're only walking, there's only one path that we can take up until this ramp. An important thing to keep in mind with dead ends in a maze is that they result in you having to turn around. Therefore, when we see a dead end in a maze, we should think of it kind of like a circle. For example, if we take this path past the ramp and we don't have Miraidon or Koraidon, we will inevitably end up at Research Base 1. We will also end up at Research Base 1 if we take the ramp down. That's why Circular Path 1 connects here and here. Continuing to the right, there's another section where you really have only one direct path. In the maze, there is this rocky section that looks like it may have been a former ramp that could potentially be alluding to this exit on the maze, but it's unclear if that's what it's gonna be, because that could be an undiscovered area that we'll find in the DLC. Moving onward, we reach ramp number 2. Like near ramp number 1, we come upon a circular path. You can go down the ramp to get to Research Base 2, or you can go around this circular area here. If you go around this circular area, you will eventually reach the ramp that you just went down. You can go down the ramp again to get back to Research Base 2. Alternatively, you could just take this circular path around to Research Base 2. This circle is indicated by this dead end on the map. This area is also where we come upon Research Base number 2. Why do I place Research Base number 2 at the dead end instead of more near the red dot? Well, in the maze itself, each of the research bases is actually marked by a Sunflora pot or a Sunflora statue. The fact that these align perfectly is further proof that this theory is correct. Just like in the maze, there is only one direct path between Research Base 2 and Ramp 3. Ramp 3 is a very interesting one because unlike the others, it's green instead of brown. Also, when we go down it, we don't slide. However, we know that this is mechanically supposed to be a ramp because when we get to the bottom, we get the option for the Y button to go back up. This is the same mechanic for the other two ramps, as you can see in these clips. At the bottom of ramp 3, we reach the third circular path. You can either go around directly toward Research Base 3, or you can go the long way around, which will still lead you eventually to Research Base 3. Across from Research Base 3 is the entrance into the Crystal Cave part of Area 0, where we find Research Base number 4. Interestingly, Research Base number 4 is represented by both a Sunflora statue and a Sunflora pot. This could be a reference to Turo's lab being an extension of Research Base 4, or it could be a reference to a research station that we have yet to see. Those are all the areas we've explored so far in Area 0, but the DLC promises that we're going to return. Based on the maze, are there unexplored parts of Area 0? One potentially unexplored part of Area 0 is indicated on the maze as the Harvest. I call it the Harvest because that's the name of this weird statue that is located there. But before we think of this as a new area, let's make sure that it's not already covered by the areas we currently can go to. My first thought, and probably most people's thoughts, is the cave where we find Iron Valiant and Roaring Moon. However, as you can see from this gameplay footage, we never go down a ramp in order to enter this area. The map clearly shows that the Harvest is near ramp 4. We can go up in this area though. Maybe this is a ramp. At the top is a dead end blocked by rocks. Maybe if we clear those rocks away somehow, we'll find the harvest. Another possibility for the harvest entrance is in this largely unused waterfall area. This is in the circular path at the very bottom near Research Base 3. It's in a pretty secluded area and has a lot of fallen rocks around it, meaning it's entirely possible that a cave entrance could have been blocked by these rocks. Regardless of where the harvest is actually located, the name The Harvest is significant because of its association with fruits and vegetables. Considering we have the Momotaro story as well as the mention of fruits by Heath, it seems like this may be a very significant location in DLC Part 2. Not to mention that in Medali, there's this poster of the Loyal 3 before the DLC was announced, next to this poster of yellow fruit. This fruit is called Sudachi. I'm not gonna say anything for those of you not following the leaks, but you know what I mean. There's also this poster of a wave with the same mountain as the Sudachi, as well as a very small, interesting turtle. Another part of the maze that we haven't explored yet is the depths of Area 0. Considering the artwork of Artazon helped us figure out some details about the harvest, maybe we can use other art in Artazon to figure out the details about the depths. There are 4 other named art pieces, all of which say they're from an unknown artist. You can click on the plaques next to them to see their names. The names of 3 of them correspond exactly to secret base items from Pokemon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. The first item is called a heterarchical loop. A heterarchical loop is a type of paradox involving a time loop. In a heterarchical loop, it's impossible to tell which event caused the other. This is like how Heath inspired Sadaturo, who then inspired Heath. The next item is called a paradoxical popper. It drops these small balls endlessly from seemingly nowhere. This is exactly like how the time machine works, where it catches Pokemon in other times and then brings their Pokeballs into the current time. We're starting to get a little more mysterious with the meditative seat. I'm assuming this is a reference to the meditative state, aka dream state, whereby Heath is able to get information from the future. Finally, we have this last artwork, Blossoming Infinity, which is not included in Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire. To me, this artwork resembles the time machine itself and symbolizes the infinite time loop that is created when Sada or Turo bring the Scarlet or Violet book back or forward in time. What would happen if something interrupted this heterarchical loop, this time paradox? Would everything cease to be? And is this even at all related to the potentially unexplored depths of Area 0? I guess we'll just have to wait until the Indigo Disk drops to find out. What are your theories on what will happen? And did you notice that the Artazon Maze is a map of Area 0? Let me know in the comments. If you're looking for an awesome, welcoming place to discuss Pokemon theories, I recommend you join my Discord, Capsule Monsters. I hope you have a great day or night, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!